Oh, good morning, collective, or good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you are whenever you are watching or listening to this reading. Now, I'm going to stop giving you dates because I realized I do my readings as timeless. So really, it doesn't matter when it goes up. This is your daily check-in, and whenever you check it out, you can check in and see what kind of guidance might be there for how you are in body, I can't speak today, in body, mind, or spirit. Now, the first thing we have to cover today is, again, we're going to be using Yasmin Boland's Moonology, and we did a first quarter reading for the moon phase of manifestation, which was letting go of the things that are hard to commit to. You know, it was challenging your confidence and your commitment. And then we skipped the waxing gibbous. And next moon phase, I'm going to pay attention to this much more carefully because it's much more useful for moon manifestation. But the waxing gibbous was about stamina and about getting closer to fullness and letting go of your ego and letting everything build momentum to where we find ourselves now at the full moon stage. Now, this is 15 to 18 and a half days after the new moon. And at this point in the lunar cycle, you are manifesting actions to come in and keeping your thoughts positive, expressing and experiencing gratitude. It's about the climax of the current cycle. And if you find that you're moon sensitive, you could be channeling some anxiety. And I do feel it a lot of the time. I will kind of be, tatting on about this and that, and I'll look up in the sky and go, oh, of course. So yes, I'm definitely moon sensitive, and it seems to be the first 3 days before and the first 3 days after. Why not? You just go with the flow, right? The moon is pulling that water around. You just go with the flow because that's that's all you can do. So we're at the pinnacle of the current cycle, and we're at this point, you have to to make an assessment or take stock of anything that hasn't worked out, and then just bless it and say, you know what, next moon cycle, you look back on the month. And because you're looking at what maybe hasn't turned out exactly as you had hoped, you can forgive anyone that hurt you. You can release karma. You can, it says dance after a ceremony. So those are just quick notes that I've taken, but there's so much more information on each of the moon cycles in this Moonology, and I'll put a link to this book in the description. And maybe what I can do next moon cycle is really get into some of the ways that it suggests, so for instance, how to forgive someone, doing a full moon forgiveness ceremony, entering a state of gratitude ceremony. So what I like about energy work and Reiki in particular is that it's all about ritual. It's about personal significance. It doesn't have to be a religious thing. It doesn't even have to be a spiritual thing. It can just be something that is significant to you, something that creates comfort. That's what rituals are. So just to quickly kind of give you what she wants to give you for the full moon, I'm just laughing. There's some full moon madness followed by some cosmic lunar sigh. At the time of the full moon, we're being asked, or parentheses, forced to deal with our stuff, which I mentioned earlier is why some people seem to go a little loony at the full moon. Shout out to loons and my fellow Canadians. The full moon then is all about peaking and releasing the old, letting go of lower energies, any upsets, negative emotions, negative patterns, toxic thoughts, habits, emotions. And I would say if you do energy work, cleansing your house, smudging your house. I use rosemary and lavender in a spray to cleanse and ask for a cleansing in terms of whatever higher power that you feel comfort in to help you just swish the bad stuff out of the air. Now we kind of let's do forgiveness. And again, over and over, as I read in so many cards and learn in life, forgiveness is not for the person that you are forgiving. Forgiveness is for you. It's like somebody told me recently, it's like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. It's just not going to work out. And you don't want to hold that poison. You don't want to be left holding the bag. So let it go. Do a visualization where you put it in a boat and send it down the river and you watch it until it disappears, or put it in a hot air balloon or a plane and watch it lift off and disappear into the sky. Those are good visualizations, simple ones to stick to. And if you were going to do a meditation, you could just constantly think about that. Give something away, give an upset away. And if another one comes up, put that in the boat, give that one away. It's a process. It's not going to happen all at once. Just remember to breathe. And it says you could do even a list of names or things that have upset you, and letting go of them in turn. She suggests seeing them inside a pink bubble in your mind. Pink is one of the colors of love. I'm just seeing like a hubba bubba kind of thing, like, and it says to do breath work, so blow a big bubble, put them in that bubble, send them off, and at least you get a giggle when you send it off. So I'll go much more into detail the next time we go through a full moon phase. But I just wanted to tell you about my ideas about the full moon. Now, I did a course with someone in the UK called Walking Your Priestess Presence, and it was about learning about the goddess, divine feminine, something I really I really appreciated and needed at that point in my life. And Elaine Kalila Dowdy, who was my mentor, she had a phrase which was, "I love my dark like I love my light." And the full moon is about shedding light on our shadows, seeing our shadows for what they are. And unless we see those shadows for what they are, we can't acknowledge them. We can't size them up. We can't face them. So that's why today, and this was a big, long ramble to explain why we're going to be working with shadow cards today. So I would like to thank the goddess and divine and all of our angels and guides who are with us to help us love our dark like we love our light, and see what kind of blocks, see what kind of blocks might be showing up in my dear collective's energy that they could work with, any shadows that are hanging around. that could be looked at as a useful exercise. And again, this is not, oh, this is what's wrong with me. This is a helpful door to go through. It's something that if you're not made aware of, you can't do anything about. So this is just about saying, what are some things that I'm doing that for very valid reasons I might not be aware of, or I might not be able to solve. You know, we all need help. And that's, oh, that was a terrible shuffle. We all need help. And this is why I like doing what I'm doing, because I'm hoping that even if there's one person out there that says, oh, that felt good or resonated or really helped, then I've done my job. So I'm just going to pull 3 cards. And edit that part out. I'm just going to pull 3 cards to look at the shadow work that we might possibly need to do on this full moon. Oh, well, that's 2. Oh, okay. Okay. They're beautiful cards, by the way. Oh, and we've got another one. Interesting. Okay, so we have a really interesting layout of cards, and I love that they can tell a story. So here we have a knight on a cliff, and this knight, be he feminine or masculine, is going off into the sunrise, but he's going towards a definite destination here. And this card is making peace. In the midst of adversity lies the path to self-discovery. Profound, genuine risk. So this is about divine union. Interesting. So this is about the time that you spend making peace with yourself and finding your authentic self before you find anything else. Because honestly, we all have a purpose and we all have to find our authenticity. So this is a journey that everybody goes on. Now the next card has a divine coupling happening, but these 2 figures are walking away from each other. So no boundaries. Difficult to establish healthy respect. Take care to ensure your needs are met. Respect, self-care, and limits. So that is about boundaries, of course. When you are in any kind of relationship, be it romantic, be it with family, with friends, with coworkers, there can't be self-respect if there are no limits, because you need limits as an act of self-care. So this is almost like a past, present, future going on here, because this is about a check-in of where are your boundaries? Where are your needs? Are they being met? Are they not being met? You might want to, for instance, take out a journal and do 2 columns saying these things are met, these things are not met. And just get really clear with yourself about, oh, and of course, this is the present, because right here, what do we have? The full moon. Right there. So yes, I think we're all, as the light, the very large light of the full moon shines down on us, making our shadows incredibly apparent, we need to just do a test in our life to see where those boundaries are. And it's clearly worth it, because as we jump over here, we have a shadow dance. When you move your shadows, you discover your rhythm. So fluidity, movement, and open. And clearly we have a couple that is secure in themselves that are enjoying a very obviously entertaining, musical, celebratory type of relationship, because they look like they're getting ready for a wedding here. It's two individuals coming together, and we have two houses, but we have union. So a little divine union, which inspires me. So I have a soul symphony deck, and I like that this is happening because coming up on Sunday, I'm going to have a live reading, which is going to be a much more in-depth reading, and this is kind of the style that I will do it in, is with multiple decks and much more time, and obviously with interaction with a live audience to answer questions, get into conversation, those kind of things. So I'm just going to pull, let's see how many cards come out in one, and I'll take those as being, oh, okay. So we have two, all right, so we need to make it, I always like, yeah, okay, interesting. Okay, so this is about the divine union that's happening, and keep in mind this can be the divine union that is happening with yourself. This could be two aspects of the self, or the divine union that's happening between you and someone else. So we are making peace with our triggers. It's a very disgruntled looking little boy. Childhood wounds. It says wombs, but I think they mean wounds. That's interesting. You might want to look at your relationship with your mother, or look at your relationship with your own womb, if there be one. Or even if you've had a hysterectomy, I know this from doing reflexology, there's still scar tissue, there's still the emotional energy of the uterus, even if it's gone. Tips from an ex-reflexologist. So we also have flashbacks. So this could be flashbacks of trauma of all kinds, but particularly perhaps trauma with the womb, and ready to explode and caught in the act. Wow. So this could be triggers about something that there's shame about something that there's anger about. So, but keep in mind, if we're reading this past, present, future, this is the past. So lots of triggers in the past, present, guarded. So a much more sedate looking figure who is dealing with past trauma, who is building up walls, who might be a little bit defensive and have a bit of a block in the heart chakra. So what I might do is put out a link to using energy. I can do this, so I can use an energy technique to help unblock the heart chakra. If you're interested in that, I will post that later. But this is where you are. You are looking at your self-care and your limits and your boundaries so that you can work on this. Where's my finger? I'm just going to move this up so you can see. So you are clearly kind of, an island. What the heck is that? I live in an apartment. There's all kinds of weird sounds. So you are clearly on an island right now, working on the past trauma and the blocks. And the next card we have, which is interesting, it is a clock. Clocks are an interesting symbol for me. It's almost like the key. It's surrender. I mean, yes, time is going to keep going no matter what you do, but there are deadlines for things. And these two seem to kind of be at odds with one another. Here we have a shadow dance where we learn to work with our shadows. And here we have running out of time, on the edge, intervention, can't wait no longer. Well, the grammar isn't great either. But I think you have two choices here within the full moon. And if you do love your dark like you love your light, you've got to love both these cards. But you don't want to have the work that you have to do push you. It's like, doing your English assignment the night before. It's never going to be as good as if you had started 2 weeks prior. You can learn about your shadows, learn to dance with your shadows, walk with your shadows, embrace your shadows, and actually feel gratitude for them. Or you can push yourself into a corner till you don't have a choice anymore. Now, I also have playlists of songs, and it's reminding me of a song that I love that is actually by someone I did my theater courses with, and it's the lyrics are, I'm gonna lose you either way, I'm gonna lose you either way, if I hold on tightly or I let go lightly. Yeah, it's the whole idea of go with the flow. And either you can hold on tightly and be forced to let something go, or you can let go of it lightly and just surrender. So I'm going to end the reading there. I'm going to take a picture of these gorgeous cards so you can revisit them, because this was oh, goodness. That's a new card. And we have pregnancy. Well, I'm just going to put that over there. Unless somebody out there is expecting, and then looks like she's pretty happy. Pregnancy trust, entrapment, conceiving, or mother figure. Well, if that resonates, it resonates. So I will link to the meditations and the songs in my playlist that I spoke about. I will put out information about this coming Sunday when I do my live reading, and I hope that if you appreciated this and found something in this reading for yourself, that you will like and subscribe. And if you feel called, share with someone who you think might be interested. Whoops, that's out of order. And until then, please be well, take care of yourself, and I will see you tomorrow.